Picture this. You wake up, before your feet even touch the floor, your hand is already reaching for your phone. Sound familiar? You tell yourself you'll just check notifications quickly, but suddenly 20 minutes have vanished into a black hole of feeds, stories, and videos you don't even care about. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We're not just using our phones anymore, we're being used by them. And today, we're going to break that cycle. Not with some impossible 30-day detox that nobody actually finishes, but with a realistic approach that actually works. Let's talk about how to take back control. Before we dive into solutions, let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat somewhere, a coffee shop, a park bench, waiting in line, and just existed without pulling up your phone to fill the silence? If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Recent studies show that people touch their phone over 2,600 times per day. That's not a typo. 2,600 times. For heavy users, that number jumps to 5,400 times per day. We're literally interacting with the device more than we interact with reality. And here's what really got my attention. The average person now spends 3 hours to 5 hours per day on their phone. That's nearly a third of our waking hours. Over a year, that's anywhere from 45 to 76 full days. Basically 2 to 3 months of your life gone, mostly to mindless scrolling. But here's what makes this truly insidious. It's not just about the time, it's about what that time is costing us. When you're constantly plugged in, you're never truly present. You're sitting with friends but checking messages. You're eating dinner but scrolling feeds. You're trying to work but getting pulled into a notification spiral. Your body is in one place, but your mind is scattered across a dozen apps. The cost? Real connections, deep focus, mental clarity, the ability to be bored, which is actually when your best ideas happen. We've traded all of that for the illusion of productivity and connection. So why is this so hard to stop? Let me explain what these companies figured out about your brain. Your brain releases dopamine when you anticipate a reward, not when you get it, but when you anticipate it. This is the same chemical that's involved in substance addiction, and tech companies has weaponized this against you. Every time you pull down to refresh, every time you post something and wait for likes, every time you hear that notification sound, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. You're essentially pulling the lever on a slot machine, hoping for a reward. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And that unpredictability makes it even more addictive. Social media platforms employ what's called variable reward schedules. Same technique used in gambling. You never know if the next scroll will show you something interesting or boring. And that uncertainty keeps you hooked. Your brain thinks, maybe the next one will be good. So you keep scrolling. And notifications, they're psychological hijacking in its purest form. That red badge, that ping, that buzz, they're all engineered to trigger FOMO and anxiety, make you feel like you need to check immediately. But here's the empowering part. Once you understand the game, you can refuse to play it. These tricks only work when you're unconscious of them. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Alright, enough theory. Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through a framework that actually works. Not some fantasy detox, but real changes you can implement starting today. First, you need to see the truth. Check your screen time right now. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Most people are shocked when they actually look at the number. Here's what I want you to do. For 3 days, just observe. Don't change anything yet. Just track when you pick up your phone and why. Notice the triggers. Are you bored? Anxious? Avoiding something? Write it down. Opened Instagram because I was standing in line. Checked emails because I felt restless during work. This isn't about judgment. It's about data. Now we get surgical. You don't need to delete everything, but you need to delete the apps that drain you. Here's the task. Open your screen time stat and find your most used app. For each one, ask, does this app add value to my life or does it extract it? Instagram might keep you connected to friends, but if you're spending 2 hours a day on it and feeling worse afterward, that's extraction, not value. Delete the time vampires. Not I'll just limit myself for 30 minutes. Delete them. You can always reinstall later, but give yourself at least 2 weeks without them. If you absolutely need certain apps for work or legitimate communication, try this. Delete them from your phone and only access them on your computer. This adds friction, which is your friend. Now we engineer your environment to support you, not sabotage you. Physical boundaries. Get a real alarm clock. This alone is huge because it eliminates the excuses to keep your phone by your bed. Create a charging station outside your bedroom. If you have to get up and walk to another room to check your phone at night, you probably won't. Put your phone in a drawer where you're working. Out of sight, out of mind. Digital boundaries. Turn off all notifications except calls and texts from actual humans you care about. Everything else is noise. Use do not disturb mode as your default, only during specific hours. Delete email from your phone entirely. Email is not an emergency. Use grayscale mode. This sounds weird, but when your phone loses its colorful appeal, it becomes dramatically less interesting. Most phones have this in accessibility settings, time boundaries, declare phone freeze zones, the dinner table, the first hour after waking, the last hour before bed, and any time you're having a real conversation. Use, before I respond to any notification, I'll finish what I'm doing rule. This breaks the Pavlovian response. Here's the thing nobody tells you. You can't just remove a habit. You have to replace it with something else, or you'll always feel like something is missing. When you have that urge to check your phone, you need a substitute ready. For mindless scrolling, carry a book or Kindle everywhere. Physical books work better because there is no internet connection to tempt you, but e-readers are more portable. When you feel the itch to scroll, read a page instead. For boredom, let yourself be bored. Seriously, boredom is not an emergency. Sit with it. Some of your best thinking happens when you're bored. Keep a small notebook to capture ideas that emerge. For anxiety or avoidance, this is actually what drives phone use. Instead of numbing it with scrolling, address it. Take 3 deep breaths. Go for a 5-minute walk, or tackle whatever you're avoiding head on. For connection, actually call or meet someone. A 5-minute real conversation beats an hour of messaging. The key is preparation. Decide what you'll do in advance when the craving hits, because in the moment, you won't think clearly. Every Sunday, do a phone audit. Check your screen time. Be honest about what worked and what didn't. Adjust accordingly. Did you reinstall Instagram? Why? Was it worth it? Or was it automatic? The moment you stop paying attention is the moment your old habits creep back. Here's what I've learned after doing this myself. Breaking phone addiction isn't really about your phone. It's about reclaiming your attention, which is the most valuable resource you have. Your attention determines what you think about. What you think about determines how you feel. How you feel determines what you do. What you do determines your entire life. When you give your attention away to algorithms designed to keep you scrolling, you're not just wasting time. You're outsourcing your mental state to companies that profit from your distraction. But when you take it back, something incredible happens. You start noticing things again. The way lights hits a building. Interesting conversations you have missed. Ideas that pop up in moments of silence. Your relationships deepens because you're actually present. Your work improves because you can work. Because you can focus more than 10 minutes. You remember what it feels like to finish something without interruption. To read one book in one sitting. To have a thought all the way through its conclusion without getting derailed by a notification. This isn't about becoming some offline purist who lives in a cabin. Technology is incredible, but it should serve you, not the other way around. So here's my challenge. Pick one thing from this video and do it today. Not tomorrow, today. Turn off notifications. Delete one app. Move your charger out of your bedroom. Just one thing. Because the gap between knowing and doing is where most people stay stuck forever. Don't be most people. Take back your attention. Take back your time. Take back your life. You won't regret it.